Tyler Perry.
Good. How's it going? How's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to talk to you. Congratulations on Madea's Netflix debut. I got to see, obviously, the preview. So many quotables, so funny. What was the difference in producing for a streaming service versus like your cinema or DVD?
You know, there weren't very many differences. It's just for me, I was at a place where I just wanted to push the envelope a little further, and realizing that on Netflix everybody will see the film at once, all around the world at the same time. That was really exciting for me. That's the difference in not being in cinema and just being on the streamer. So really, really exciting for me.
I think as a comedy actor, you're often told scenes must be short, quick, in and out. I found watching that they were longer than the conventional comedy show that you
Yeah.
watch or any comedy film. Was that deliberate? I think it was brilliant, firstly, because I was hanging on to every word that was said. And just when you thought it was over, there was more. Was that a
Yeah.
deliberate decision?
I don't follow those rules. I break all the rules in writing. I break all the rules of what a comedy should be, a drama should be. I just like to tell a story the way I want to, and I want to make sure we're making the point. So I love those scenes where you're engaged with one person and the audience is watching and they become a member in the room. I really like those moments. Yeah.
And there were lots of underlying themes in A Madea Homecoming, from the representation of the LGBTQ plus community, Black Lives Matter, and then of course the legalization of marijuana in Georgia. Do you
Yeah.
want to talk about that? Because
Just in all of these moments, I just think, Madea has something to say about it. And it was so great to have a kid graduating from an HBCU and putting this younger generation up in the same room with this older generation and seeing all the differences in what they say and do. So I just thought it was a really, really a fun time.
I loved it. I loved it. I mean, you've been in heavy makeup for what, over 20 years?
Yeah.
How long does it take for Madea to get ready for a scene?
We've got Madea down to about 30, 45 minutes now, but Joe is the one. Joe is the one that's hours and hours. Yeah.
I mean, how does it work practically? Like if I'm on set, so are you Madea first, and then you change into Joe? How does it work, and how much of time does that actually eat into production?
Well, you will usually start with Joe because Joe's the hardest character. Like, I'll get at 5 in the morning, start doing his makeup to be ready to shoot at 8 or 9. And so we'll start with him, take that off, and then go into Madea and work that way. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. In 2019, you actually said you were going to retire. You were going to retire, Madea. I quote, you said, "I'm sick of that old bitch."
Yeah.
She's back now. Why
Yeah.
bring her back?
Just the state of the world and the pandemic and the sadness and death and destruction and just all we're in such a dark place. I want to bring some laughter to the world, so that's why she's the funniest thing I've ever created. I want to bring her back just because of that.
And then you did something incredible. You created Camp Quarantine, right?
Yeah.
Where a lot of crews and casts were out of jobs, downing tools. You created this machine that was going to continue no matter the cost, literally. Why was that so important for you?
Well, I had a lot of people that worked for me who had bought houses and cars and kids in college and things like that. So I realized, listen, I can't just sit at home because I can. I got to think about them as well. So we created this world and it worked. We got everybody through. We kept shooting Sisters and The Oval and Ruthless and all these shows and got everybody through without any positive cases. So that was really great.
It's so sad that I've only got 2 minutes left because I've got so much to ask you. But I think the biggest thing for me is I want you to know, for everybody in South Africa, we look at you and you're just an absolute beacon of light and of hope. There's an interview of yours I watched where you spoke about an insatiable desire and a fire that you had inside of you. And what is it that made you keep going when everything around you was saying no? When, you just like, how on earth did he think to even do that?
Yeah, for me, it's my faith in God, just feeling that nudging to keep going. And I tell people, anybody who's struggling, going through, trying to figure it out and don't know if they're going to make it, I feel like when you're going through that stuff, you're paying for something. So get to the other side of it so you can see what you paid for, right? What is on the other side? Like when I look at my life now and I think of all the pain, I was like, wow, what a journey to get here. But I paid for it in pain and suffering, for sure.
Well, I think at one point you represented just Black cinema. I think now you speak for a multitude of voices, and we are grateful for you.
Thank you very much. That's awfully kind. Thank you.
947 Drive with Thando.